Yo, what is going on, every pony? Here we are, November 25th, 2022, Black Friday, Thanksgiving weekend. We are here, we are present, and we are here to talk about nations at risk. Ladies and gentlemen, there was another war, nations at risk. I will cover that first thing after my other thing. And then we will get into politics and war, in which we got a bunch of politics and war topics. Fucking TKR, they have already routed against the forces of Midgard. They are all in vacation mode. The Knights radiant, more like the Knights routed, ladies and gentlemen. There is no food in politics and war. There is, I believe the numbers have come out on DNN. There's an average of 300,000 food left for every player. Mass starvation on the horizon. Prepare to get your income cut by a third. It is unstoppable. The nukes are flying. It's nuclear winter. Fucking, like, you're gonna starve. We got a great game development update coming down the pipe, straight from Village himself. Can't wait to talk about that. What was another topic? Oh yeah, and some really great threads on the forums coming up. I can't wait to cover these awesome threads being made. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. And to first off, and this is a poll, but let me discuss it first. February next year, little under 2 months from now, I am going to do a show titled The Final Word on MPO's Last Time. I'm going to try to bring on key people that took part in that war, and we're going to talk about how it happened, what happened, and how it changed the game, basically. Because it will be, I believe next year would be the 30-year anniversary of that war ending. And the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because I still think it's probably the biggest, most consequential singular event in the game's history. And I want to be able to teach the newbies, to teach the new players about it, because particularly if we are entering a bipolar world, you might see some people mention MPO's Last Time, and I think it's good to have a frame of reference for that. So that's my idea. Basically settle the war once and for all. I do not have an MPO's rep. It's basically going to be anti-Inquisition people, anti-Opus Dei people, because all of the Inquisition and Opus Dei people, they're gone, unless Epi wants to try or George wants to try, but I don't think they're willing to. I mean, if I will put this out there right now, if a key decision maker from that side of the game wants to come on and talk, I will let them. I don't think it will happen, but I am open to it because I don't necessarily want like an echo chamber. That's fair, Roberts. That's fair. Sleeping Ninja, I might want you to come on. Can you voice chat? And do you live in the United States? Yes, but no Canada. Okay, that's just as good. So you can make it to an Eastern time zone. Okay, so that is something. So I'll bring Sleeping Ninja on and some others. If Sleeping Ninja is the best we're going to get with that side, I'll still take it. That's fine. I doubt we'll get Rock. I doubt we'll get the shark guy from Goons. But like we won't get Seeker or Leo. but I recently messaged to Rock. If Rock will do it, I'll bring on Rock. I'll bring on Rock. I really will. I don't think he will, but I'm willing. All right, but he lives under a rock. All right, so look for that in February on the 3-year anniversary. The contention is, do I do it here in Thalmoria or do I do it in Ron? Why would I do it in Thalmoria? Because it's my show, it's my thing. I want to put eyes on this community. Why would I do it in Ron? Because Ron is already so established and so big, more people would show up live. That's the contention. So I will do a community poll. Look for that tonight. I will do a poll, and community poll, Thalmoria or Ron. I'm also thinking maybe I could actually get it done in the Politics and War main server. I think I can probably convince someone to let me do that. That is possible. So, you know what? I might just do that. Which the goal of the show is to explain to the newbies what happened. So as long as it's recorded, it kind of doesn't matter where it is, but I digress. So I'll do that poll later. It is cancer, but you know what? Like, there'd be like over 100 people, and like everyone would come, so it would be okay. Would actually be that actually would be funny, Lysander, because Alex is banned from Thalmoria. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to move on to Nations at Risk. This won't be too long, so if you don't care, just hang in there. Okay, like go play a game of solitaire. 2 people already left. That's fine. Nations at Risk is another game that I play that a bunch of other Politics and War people play. It's a nation sim. Actually, is Spartan here? Because Spartan is here. Okay, so this is basically the gist. Spartan is the developer and owner of Nations at Risk. He wanted me to talk about it. I'll talk about it. Nations at Risk. Actually, this won't be a few minutes. This will be more like 10 or 15 minutes. So, like maybe play 3 games of solitaire. But anyways, within Nations at Risk, it's like a couple hundred players. It's like 200 players max. And the current rivalry is essentially between Odyssey and Digital Dopamine. And to explain these alliances, I need to explain the player base. And you can basically split up the player base into 2 subsets. You have the first generation OG indigenous Nations at Risk players that have basically been around, like the founding members of Digital Dopamine go back like years, basically, at this point. And then the second subset of people are Politics and War invaders, and they are led by Odyssey. Odyssey is the Nations at Risk, what the Syndicate, Rose, Guardians of the Galaxy were to Politics and War from Cyber Nations. And so basically, this year they fought 2 wars. Odyssey has clapped because Odyssey has the experience of politics at war, at like basically organizing and knowing how to use Discord and stuff, whereas Digital Dopamine kind of really don't. And also, Politics and War has this martial tradition, whereas a like regular nation sim player probably doesn't. So the mindset's different, the expectations is different, and so Odyssey clapped both times. This war, which started, I believe, last Friday, ended today. I think the wars are still going, but diplomatically, digital dopamine surrendered today. Odyssey clapped digital dopamine. Um, like half of their wealth got destroyed, from my understanding. Um, Digital Dopamine and Odyssey both had about 36 members. Digital Dopamine is now down to 29. Odyssey is still at 36. Odyssey has twice the infrastructure of Digital Dopamine. So decisive victory, complete slaughter. I fought in Odyssey. I immediately went inactive after the blitz. I did nothing. I lost all of my military. I actually probably took like some of the most damage of Odyssey members aggregated because I just did nothing. I was completely useless. Thank you for the war aid and building me up. I eagerly anticipate the rebuild aid, but I contributed very little to the war effort. But still, it was kind of fun. It was a very strange feeling participating in a blitz that wasn't politics and war. It was very strange because it was like parts of my brain were being activated, but the direct action was different. It was very strange. It was very strange, but kind of fun, and I look forward to doing it again. Um, but the thing is that I don't know when the next time will be because digital dopamine has been like mortally injured. Because remember how I said they went from 36 members to 29? Like some of the members who deleted, like they were like their biggest members, like the longest standing guys. Like you had some flat out rage quits. And I'm not going to say digital dopamine is permanently injured. They can come back, but they are probably set back 6 months. So, it is what it is. Um, why did the war happen? You might want to know. The war happened because actually, I don't know if I can even say. So never mind.
I can say.
I'm not going to say. Zig. Okay, Zig, your government. You can say.
Yeah. So many of you will know me as a low-level P&W player, but I am also the lead of Odyssey, along with Jonas. And basically, we wanted to go after the top spots in the game, and we wanted to basically the top, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 had never gotten hit in a war because they were too big, and so we finally, over the last few months, built up enough that we could actually swing at them. And a big part of the war was just getting those top 3 involved. And unfortunately, that meant that number 1 and number 3 both deleted, rage quit the game, and number 2 left digital dopamine, basically leaving ruins in its place. Uh, I wanted to add as well that the game mechanics are really, the war mechanics are extremely brutal. So the way the mechanics work is they have the same infrastructure type of thing that can go down to 0 within a week. We brought most of the alliance down to 0 within a week, and you can also kill the people, and if you basically just commit genocide on the population, they can no longer get defensive troops. And after you do both of that, they basically can't do anything. And yeah, NAR does have genocide mechanics, basically. And and you end up destroying people insanely fast. So as a result, the other mechanic is the best time to attack is on a Friday night because all wars reset on Friday nights for an event. And so you can attack, wars reset, and then attack again, and basically get a double attack, get double maps. And so by doing that, we had a big massive blitz. It's basically a double blitz, and they kind of just rolled over and gave up within a very short amount of time. So basically, Odyssey is gonna be the top unless we decide to antitrust break it up. I think that's all I gotta say.
Thank you, Zig, for that high level analysis. I wasn't sure. Jonas DM'd me a little bit, but I didn't know what else I could say. So thank you, Zig. I like Nations at Risk. I think it's fun. I plan on playing that game. I'm a lot less engaged from it than I am Politics and War, and I'm not really engaged with Politics and War that much. But like, I don't know, I still like playing. I still like logging in and like clicking on buttons. So it is what it is. Okay, now it's time to talk about politics and war. What's my first topic? Okay, so I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I want to discuss some of these really great threads. So I'm going to pull up one such thread. So there's an alliance called Or the White Rose, and what happened with them is Or the White Rose quit the game. They got into a war, and then instead of fighting the war, they decided that they would just quit. That's Or the White Rose. That's their legacy. That's what they were remembered for. And for some reason, and I don't really know why, Saval, who is still around for whatever reason, made a thread, a declaration of war against the Knights Radiant. Now you may think, oh, Saval is going to fight TKR by himself. It's like, actually, no. He is sitting in Or the White Rose doing nothing. I don't know why he felt compelled to post a spam thread, but he did. I guess there's a joke there. Not really funny, but hey, it is what some people think it's funny. So to them, good on them. I'm happy they can laugh at that kind of stuff. There's a second thread. I actually wasn't originally going to even talk about it, but while I'm on this train of thought, I think I will. There's a very interesting ban appeal that I want to bring some attention to while we're talking about awesome threads. And it's a ban appeal. This was today. Actually, the appeal went up on the 19th, but Alex didn't rule on it until today. So I'm going to read what it says here. And I posted it in chat so you guys can read it. But it's by a guy named Keydun. And he says he was IP banned from the game on the 18th. The reason was for creating another batch of multis to send myself money after already being warned for it. He provides a ban ID of 3191. So does that mean 3,000 people have been banned from the game? Banned by I don't know, and then lists his reason for appeal, which is, quote, the reason is cause at the first start of the game, I thought I would be attached to that game for long. I wouldn't be attached to the game for so long, so I was just reckless and started giving myself money by making alts, and realizing now I actually do care now, and I'm sorry for my behavior. I don't expect to be unbanned or anything. I'm going to tell you how I did the glitch in the future. This can't happen again for you guys. And no, I didn't use a VPN. I used cellular data and Wi-Fi on 2 different iOS devices to do it, then used a random email generator website that makes it so that you can get mail to that randomly generated email to show how to prevent this. make it so people can use Gmail and Outlook. Otherwise, other domains are just used for mass spotting. I know it's a hard decision, or it won't stop people from making Gmails, but at least it helps with something. Anyways, I'm filled with sorrow, and I hope you can forgive me. I hope I helped you with in the future. If I didn't, that's all I can do. I love your website, and I'm sorry I broke the rules. I understand why I was banned. I take full responsibility. Everyone deserves a second chance. Additional info. I came back because I spent actual money on the game. I really want my account back. I'm sorry for my behavior. Doesn't that just tug at your heartstrings? This poor man prostrating himself in front of Alex. Oh, Alex, forgive me. This is how I did this wrong. Please, Alex, I'm begging you. I spent money. Everyone deserves a second chance. I'm not expecting you to unban me, but please. And based Alex comes down, descends from the heavens, and says, appeal denied. You were warned multiple times and continue to make multis. And what is Keaton's response to this denial? What is Keaton's response? Keaton's response, he utters three words. He utters three words. Quote, you messed up. Whoa. Whoa. Alex has messed up. So that's really interesting. So I don't know if Keaton is I don't know if he's just impotently raging. I don't know if he's going to try to dox Alex or whatever. But you messed up it's kind of sinister sounding. I don't know what he's hoping to do. Probably nothing, because generally I've only been on God's green earth for almost 25 years now. From my experience, most people who make threats are actually not going to do anything. Now, there is a small subset of people who do make threats who will follow up, but that's a small subset of people. And usually it's pretty obvious when you see one. But most people who make threats don't follow through. I'm going to kick your ass. He's not going to kick your ass. I'm going to sue you. He's not going to sue you. The people who don't make threats are the ones you should actually be a little wary of. But so there you go. Keaton kind of to me talks like he's younger, like underage. His post is full of it's not formatted well. So this is probably like a 13-year-old. I guess we'll see what happens, which the game has already been DDoS'd. The game has already been under attack. Cloudflare's anti-DDoS stuff has had to kick in to help. So, my cat is currently playing with a thing, and I don't know if it's a thing I should take away from her. Hold on. No, it's just okay. I know what that is. It's nothing. Anyways, so we'll see what happens. Oh, while I mentioned it, who is DDoS? Okay, it's impossible to know who's DDoSing the game. But why would you DDoS politics and war? Why would you spend money? Fucking money is hard to get. If you work minimum wage in the US, actually few places pay minimum wage. If you're making $11 an hour in the United States, how much is a DDoS? A DDoS costs $20 for 5 minutes. It costs money to DDoS a website. What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? Anyways,
can I
$15?
Can
yeah,
I
go on, Zig. What's up?
I have a tinfoil hat idea. So a while back, the game got taken down because of a exploit where you lagged the game by pinging the spy endpoint, and it was done by this guy called Zing. And what the guy was saying, he went into some detail with me, but didn't tell me everything. But apparently, there's an exploit that has been found that has not been fixed, as far as I know, where if the game lags, there's a very specific way that you can dupe resources. And right now is the best time to dupe resources because as of for the last about the last month, the resource tracker in game stopped working. So that would be the data visualizations tab. If you take a look at the, like for instance, total food over time, the graph stops at, oh, it started again. Oh, hey, it started again. Maybe not. Well, for the last month, the graph has been down, and that got revealed. People noticed that about one day before the DDoS happened. And my thinking is, oh, someone has probably saw that and was like, oh, I can dupe now and no one will catch me. And so I think the DDoS might be someone trying to dupe resources. But I have no proof of that. That's just hypothetical. Yeah, the food's gone up.
Sounds pretty compelling.
Which it's technically possible because if you track right before that, the slope was really high, and somewhere between the last month there should have been a peak and a drop, and if that peak is up high enough, it could be, you can kind of. I'll draw a little graph, but I think that's probably the most likely thing that's happening is someone is duping resources, and probably they might even get away with it if if they stopped right now, they might get away with it.
So did Keaton? Yeah, Keaton outright admits to like doing some fucky wucky stuff, not just sending himself money. But yeah, Zig, that actually makes a lot of sense. I want Borg's take because Borg is like the cyborg who knows. Maybe he can also offer some commentary to this. Actually, I think he already has, but not. I think in Ron he might have. But that actually, this is a perfect time to bring up my next topic, which is the Politics and War development update. And ladies and gentlemen, I can confirm that there is fucking jack shit happening with game development. I don't know if anything going on about anything. I haven't heard anything. Like Village hasn't said anything in a week. There's been no announcements about anything. Game development is turtle speed. It's over. This is Politics and War version like 1.3. Like that's the permanent thing. Village is taking a break. You probably actually have to take a break, really. Pre has been gone. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, I bring this up because Sam Cooper made a very comprehensive thread in which he talks about how shitty the war system is. And I didn't read it. I'm not going to read it. But, like, there is the war system is never really going to change. It's never going to change. It sucks. To fix it requires a complete overhaul. And there's a very consistent principle which has been driving game development, which is the only things that will ever change are low effort things. If anything requires substantial effort, it's just not going to happen. And so an overhaul of the war system is never going to happen. We are stuck with it how it is. We are stuck with it. I am sure eventually there will be a change to the war system, but it's going to be like changes in the past with multipliers being changed, and like, maybe ships will be able to destroy some planes defensively, but that's based like it's the most we'll probably ever get is perks, and that's it. Maybe my defensive improvements idea, maybe something will happen with that, but a complete overhaul, Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Darkblade says something very relevant. The current structure of the code is too unreliable for reward change. That's what's really needed is for the code to be overhauled, but it's not. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I would be okay with the game going offline for 3 months if it meant we came back to something like much better, but that's not going to happen either. I don't think. So we're stuck with what we got. I think it's okay. I'm fine with it. Zig, what was you going to say?
There's no reason for them to take down the game for 3 months, because the way that it would work is they would basically rewrite the game and then push it to a test server first and work out all the bugs there, and then they would push it live, just the way that they do anything like that. But the thing is it would take 3 months or more. Village wants to do that, but the problem is disentangling a garbage code, I think, and the amount of work that's going to take just for that is insane. And the only person that's going to do it is Village, because Alex is almost certainly not going to bother. As far as we can tell, Alex, I mean, as far as I can tell, Alex is largely checked out. He maintains what he has to. But like Roberts is saying, he sees it as sees PNW as 95% moderation, which is not what he wants to do, and he's not really that good. He's not really a coder per se either. So the only way you could get anything to happen is either A, get Village to recode the game entirely, or B, hire somebody else, or C, get Pre to do a bunch of small tweaks like you were saying and do it on the test server. I've been hoping Pre would do the test, like, tournament servers for a while now, because he had talked about doing small modifications to the war system to tweak it using the test server and basically build up an idea of how you could just modify stuff. And that's all we'd really need. But unfortunately, Pre's been too busy, according to him.
So that's game development. So you still have the war going on. Eclipse versus Cataclysm, Cataclysm versus Midgard, and then Midgard versus the Knights Radiant. And where is Radiation at? Is it still a negative 100 on all continents? It must be, right? Yeah. So food production is pretty fucked. And not Antarctica. Okay, well, some food is being made. If you are on Antarctica, you have a moral duty to launch a nuclear weapon. I don't care if your wars are going well, bad, whatever. You need to be nuke maxing. You need to be increasing radiation. You have to be building and launching nuclear weapons. You have to be saving maps. You have to be checking and comparing infrastructure levels. You have to be shooting nukes. But I do believe there's plenty of food to go around, though. Does the graph, is it reliable? Does it tell us how much food's in the game right now? I think it's a lot. Like, the price of food is going to go up, but actual access to food is still, like, a thing. There's more than there's ever have been. That sounds about right, unfortunately. I just want the game to run out of food. I just want everyone to go hungry. Please. There's 2 billion food? How much food gets used up a day? That's the number. It's gotta be tens of millions of food, right? Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jack, if you can hear this. Because I use up 14,000, and I'm a city 36. So 10 players, 140,000 a day. 100 players. No, it might just be about 5 million food a day. Do we have numbers on how much food gets used up a day? So assuming 5 million a day, then 5 million times 30 is 150,000. So it would take approximately a month and a half to run out of food. That is doable. That is doable. Assuming that like you will have people use credits to spawn in food, but that will only go so far. So I think two months is what it takes. 2 months, negative 100 radiation. You can get 17 million. 17 million is a lot better. Because then you're talking 17 million times 30. You're talking 500. Oh, I was wrong when I first said 2 months because that's wrong. My math was so wrong. Oh my gosh, that was so off. It would take much longer than 2 months. Oh my, ladies and gentlemen, forgive me. But I got the right math now. So 17 million food a day times 30 comes out to 510 million food. I'll just round down to 500 million. So approximately, according to Locutus, there was 500 million food being lost every month. So in order to burn through the stockpiles, I'm going to say 5 months. I'm going to say 5 months to actually go through all the food. Now, unfortunately, that will not happen. This war is not going to go on for 5 months. In order to reach that negative 100, you would need like an MPO's last time level war. You need a super big war. It's not going to happen. But it is what it is. Yeah, I don't think Fallout Shelter is going to actually save like food production, but it is what it is. Point is, folks, we need an MPO's last time again in the future, probably next year, so that we can finally get zero food production and just the game can just completely run out of food. That would be fucking awesome. Threads moment, really. Okay, final topic. Vacation vexation. Rewan is here, I believe. Where is he? Did he leave? Nope, it wasn't Rewan. I'm stupid. It was Darth Try. I'm gonna call you Darth Try because I can't. Your name's cut off for me. Darth Try made a thread in which he said Darth Tran is Dulus. I didn't know that. I thought they were two different people. Anyways, Darth Tran made a thread in which he poked fun at TKR for having so many vacation mode members. And they actually only had like only 14% of the alliances in VM. Maybe it's gone up since I last checked, but I doubt it. It's not a statistically significant number of members, especially because they're such a large alliance that 14% is like whatever. But Darth Try made this thread poking fun at them, and it wasn't received well, I think, because it's just not an effective attack, because so many of the members are participating in the war. But I gave my 2 cents in the thread in which I basically said, I think someone in the thread, I think it was Mitsuma, I think. Mitsuma said that like if you're making fun of people in VM, you need to get over it. And that was received poorly. And I strongly disagree with that, because if you this was my beef with, well, it's not the same, but like that was my beef with Or the White Rose, how they got into war and then they just quit. And I think Alpha did this when they weren't a bot farm, but to have, I'm going to say, okay, what is the minimum threshold of VMers in an alliance to where you can point and laugh at them? For me, I say 30%. You can make fun of an alliance VMing if at least 30% goes into VM. That's my idea. My beef with Or the White Rose, they didn't mass VM. They left the alliance, they deleted. So a bit different. Well, maybe some VM, I don't remember. That was my beef with them. Alpha, I believe at one point mass VM'd when I think Sparta or Terminus S hit them. Someone hit Alpha and they all went to VM, like all 20 of them, for like a year, and then later they switched it to 2 weeks and then came out. Like exams for being a doctor. That reminds me of that Cornerstone guy. Yes, Les Paul Supreme. He went to VM every war, and that was the same excuse. He had exams to become a doctor for like 2 years. Over the course of like 2 or 3 years, he would VM every war. God bless. He's a doctor now. Well, good for him. Good for him. He is probably contributing more to society than most other politics and war players. So you know what? Good for him. But yeah, I think you can shit on a community if they have a lot of people going to vacation mode when a war breaks out, because you need to be willing to stand and take the licks. Okay? You need to grab the battle axe, okay? And you need to stand in line, and you have to be able to dish out the damage too, but at a minimum, you have to take the licks. If you refuse to do so, that is a poor thing on you. And if you have a community in which such a large, even if it's a large minority, in which it's a large subset of that community doesn't want to stand in line with the battle axe and take the licks, I think they deserve to be shit on. To TKR's credit, that's not what I'm seeing here. But in general, I think that is a thing you can do. So there you go. I think it's all I got to say about that. Is Sparta still here? Because I know he likes it. No, Sparta left, but I'll have to do it anyways. Do you guys want me to talk about real life stuff? Elon Musk comes to mind and Donald Trump comes to mind. So let me know how you feel. There's a comment Darkblade wants me to look at. Okay, I'll look at that later, Darkblade. All right, I'm going to talk about real life stuff. So if you don't care about real life stuff, now's the time to go. I will see you 2 weeks from now. Have you read through the cancellation form? What's that? I don't know what the cancellation form is. I like I said, I want to go at 10, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. Elon Musk buying Twitter has, I think, been a really good thing, because he's unbanning people who I don't think should have been banned, and look, I'm right wing, okay? I'm biased, but it is my belief that the right wing conservative position, maybe not necessarily conservative, but the right wing position is derived from evaluating the world around you and choosing ideas that will better benefit you and the people around you. And so the progressive, especially like, forget like Medicare for all or taxing corporations. Like I'm talking like drag queen story hour. I'm talking like you can't be racist against white people. I'm talking like the really crazy culture war stuff. That stuff can really only exist in a situation, in a world in which those people who subscribe to those ideas control every like cultural power institution, the media, the press, the government, all of them. So if you've had a truly free marketplace of ideas, that benefits conservatives because your working class Joe and Jane are going to see this on one side and the other thing on the other. They look to the right, they look to the left, and they see, yeah, we're going to take your kids away if you won't let us mutilate them and put them on hormones. And yeah, we're going to let these violent criminals out of prison because it's unfair that they're being like held. And like, yeah, like what's another issue? Like, yeah, you're going to have to lose your job because your industry produces it's not green enough and it's not inclusive enough. So we're going to close down your factory or your workplace in general. Meanwhile, the right wing still sucks because like you look to I'm speaking from an American perspective. You look to the Republicans, the Republicans are much better. The Republicans are like, yeah, I'm sorry that you're losing your job, and I'm sorry that like the country is not the same one which your grandparents grew up in, but like we will make sure that corporate taxes are 11% instead of 14%. And like I know you can't afford your surgery, your life-saving surgery, and it's going to make you a debt cuck for the rest of your life. But look, the best I can do is like maybe we'll launch an investigation into this and do a few hearings. Like it's kind of fucked. It's kind of fucked both ways. But between those two, I think your average person will go towards the Republicans, which I vote Republican. I'm not happy with Republicans either. I am much more excited by like the populist wing that is like the wing that the people who are most interested in the economic well-being of the common person, which I don't think the Republicans are. I mean, both the Democrats and Republicans are corporatist parties, but like I believe the Republican Party is starting to transition away from that, or at least the corporatist sections are losing power. The people in charge are growing old. They're dying out. New blood is coming into the party. And I am cautiously optimistic about that. This is a big spiel. I'm really branching what I'm talking about, but ultimately, the point to blend it all down, I think Elon Musk buying Twitter is a good thing. I think he has stated watching Elon Musk on Twitter is so fascinating because Elon Musk has said he barely sleeps. He sleeps a couple hours a day. He's on Twitter like all the time. He's tweeting like 10, 15, 20 times a day. And he is king of Twitter. He is accountable to no one. He does whatever he wants. And people will say things, and people will say things out into the ether, and he'll just reply to them. Or people will ping him and he will just reply. It is so fascinating seeing a guy with so much power just act like a normal guy. That is really like unique. And like just the other day, there was this chick like threatening to dox people, and someone pinged Elon and said, "You should look at this." And Elon said, "This is fucked." And the chick got banned like within the hour. Like it, I don't know. I've never seen anything like it, and it's very interesting to watch. But he has said openly how, from his perspective, it was usually conservatives getting banned, and he's undoing that. And so all sorts of right-wing figures are returning to Twitter. He unbanned Trump. He did a poll. Should I unban Trump or no? Yes, won. So he unbanned Trump. He did another one. This one's massive. He did another one about granting a general amnesty to everyone except those who spammed and those who broke the law, but letting everyone else come back. Because from what I gathered from reading his tweets, he is so disgusted by the political bias at Twitter. He's just trying to undo that damage as much as possible. And so if you have a truly free speech Twitter, like that is a captured institution that has been uncaptured, because a truly free platform, I think, will be beneficial to the right wing. So that's a big deal, to have this platform where conservatives can truly exchange their ideas, a massive platform with literally 200 million users. That's really crazy. So Matt, I see what you've been saying in the chat, and I think you're just wrong about everything. I think you're just wrong. Twitter's doing fine. I don't know financially, because I know there's been a coordinated effort to get advertisers to pull out. But like, yes, Twitter's lost a lot of people, but like the platform functions. Like I use Twitter every day, and it works just fine. So, I think it really says something that a massive company like Twitter can lose most of its workforce and still function the same. Because that just goes to show, and I mean, this is already known for those who are in business, like most corporations are just full of do-nothing jobs. And Twitter is showing that. It's a case study in this. Most corporations, you can cut most of the staff and they would function the same. It's true in government as well. You could fire like 80% of the federal bureaucracy and it would probably function the same. Max says, now the software state will run until something breaks. It's a ticking time bomb. I mean, we'll see. It hasn't happened yet. That's just a hypothetical, though. Until it happens, then it's working fine. So we'll see what happens. Elon Musk said today on Twitter that if Apple and Google did remove Twitter from the app stores, that he would probably try to build his own phone, which I think is like, I don't know. I mean, look, I have my doubts about Elon because he is a billionaire. I am suspicious of the transhumanist work he's doing with Neuralink. For Halloween, he literally wore like a Satanist like outfit for Halloween, which I thought was suspicious. Like that, like his costume was literally called it was $7,000 and it was called like the devil's favorite or something. It was kind of weird. There is a picture of him side by side with Maxine Giselle. And what was the other thing? Or Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's girl. And what was the other thing? When he first took over Twitter this month, he said he was going to only start unbanning people after he brought in a council to like okay it, and the council was full of people from like the ADL and the ACLU and shit like that. He reneged on that because apparently he revealed a couple days ago on Twitter that he only agreed to do that with the council because he was told that if he didn't, like all these advertisers and all of these power structures would try to cancel Twitter. But according to him, they broke the deal first. So that's why he's going ham now, which is I think is true. And on the advertisers, hi Ween. The main show's over. I'm just going over real life stuff until I close out the show here in a few minutes. If you're here for politics and war stuff, you have to listen to the recording. What's I talking about? The advertising thing, though, yeah, all of these big corporations are no longer advertising on Twitter, but like it's supply and demand. When there's less advertisers, then the cost to advertise goes down. So if other people wanted to like get in and advertise on Twitter, it's actually cheaper to do so now. So just something to think about. Facebook ads have been going up in price as the years go on. That's because more and more people are advertising on Facebook. So as all of these advertisers pull out of Twitter, it's cheaper to advertise. So you might have small, like solo operations, small businesses, and even medium-sized businesses. They can, I don't know if they can rush in to fill that gap because it's just more economic for them. If they determine that Twitter is a viable platform, I don't know if it is. From my experience, or not from my experience, but from my knowledge, Twitter is usually not on like the list of platforms people go to, but we'll see. Is that true, Hatebeat? That's interesting. Darkblade is right. I did see some people talk about how if they see someone advertising on Twitter, they will try to get them canceled now. So we'll see. But I'm very happy with Elon Musk. I'm very excited for what he does with Twitter. I'm very excited for what he's already done. Massive cultural W for the right wing on this. Massive. It's a big deal. I want to talk about Trump real quick. Trump announced formally that he's running for president, and I listened to part of his announcement speech, and I just did not like it. He sounded tired. He sounded low energy. He said nothing that was interesting. Now there's been reports that he is meeting up with some people I really don't like. Nick Fuentes, Milo Yiannopoulos. I don't care. Like, I'm okay with Kanye West, but I think he's kind of insane. And apparently Kanye West had dinner with Trump, where Kanye asked Trump for Trump to become his vice president, which is just like, whoa, buddy. And I just don't really care. I'll talk about FTX here in a minute. I'm just not excited for Trump. I think Trump is like Trump fumbled the ball really hard when he was president, when he was leaving office. Like he just couldn't stop taking L's. Very easy to avoid L's. He had the power to pardon Julian Assange. He did not. He could have pardoned Snowden. He did not. He could have pardoned the January 6th defendants. He did not. He just didn't do anything. And he wants to get up on a podium. Like the right wing, we were worried about tech censorship. He did nothing. And then he got banned off Twitter. Elon Musk banned him from Twitter. He refuses to come back. Like, he cannot stop stepping into rakes. And why should I vote for him? He had a chance to maybe earn my vote with his announcement speech that he was running again, and he said nothing that was compelling. He gave no vision for the future. You know, part of me wants to vote for him because I think maybe he would do more good than harm, but he is so frustrating that I don't know if I even want to. Like, I might just stay home because I don't know. I mean, he has, I guess, 2 years to light a fire, but he's going to have to really come out swinging when the election season starts. He's going to have to really do and say a lot to earn, I don't know if it's my respect or what, but just bad. I would also prefer DeSantis, but I'm also really scared of a DeSantis versus Trump situation because that's really, really, really going to split the Republican Party at a time where it might not even be necessary. So, there was a crypto exchange called FTX. The guy in charge, you cannot make this shit up. The guy in charge, his name was Sam Bankman Fried. He looks disgusting. He has the phenotype, like physiognomy, I can't pronounce it. He looks fucking disgusting and gross. He is not a beautiful person. Like, I got a haircut and like I'm dressing better and like I'm really taking care of the way I look now. That's not either ween. I can't pronounce the word. I have to look it up. But like I'm working out and like I'm starting to get pecs now. And like my arms are getting bigger. Like, I am gradually becoming a beautiful person. And and it's gone to my head because I look at my peers and a lot of them are overweight with guts. Whereas I don't have a gut. I'm skinny. I'm skinny as hell. Okay. If it's blowing 30 miles per hour outside, I'm going to get blown away. I'm such a skinny boy. But like, I'm looking much better than I have in the past because now I care about the way I look. Like a beautiful neck beard, exactly. And so, as a person who is trying to become beautiful and who is admiring beautiful people, I look at Sam Bankman Fried and I am repulsed. I despise him. Okay, thank you, Darklight, for posting the picture of his girlfriend. I will come back to that. But Sam Bankman Fried was worth billions of dollars, and basically, long story short, it was basically a scam. He would move the money around, and it all got lost. I am suspicious that it was a money, like it might be a CIA op, because what would happen is like the federal government was sending war money to Ukraine, and then the Ukrainian government was putting this money into FTX, and then Sam Sam would like donate that money to Democrats. Like, it was really fucking crazy. But that was going on. Basically, all the money's gone. Billions of dollars lost. Tom Brady is getting sued. Like, it's all fucked up. And I think he recently gave a speech at some event, and so that's happening. Apparently, Sam with other big wigs at the company, apparently they were just fucking each other all the time. That is his girlfriend. She is also hideous. She is disgusting. They're just bug people. They're so gross. They are not beautiful. You know, if you have beautiful thoughts, you will be beautiful. Okay? If you have ugly thoughts, you will be ugly. So what does that really tell you about these people? Oh, by the way, Sam is apparently on record in a recording, like he was sitting in a beanbag chair and the cleaning lady came by and the cleaning lady tried to talk to him and apparently he like cussed her out. Like he's just a nasty guy. I don't know, Ween. Post a picture of yourself. Like DM me a picture of yourself and I will rate you. She's on recording lots of amphetamines too. That's what happens to these people. Like, I would never do drugs. Like, if I had billions of dollars, I would like. I don't know. Most people should be rich. Most people shouldn't be rich. Like, if you're going to do drugs, like, this is a problem I see happening. In that I do wonder if we will have a post-scarcity economy in my lifetime, at least in some parts of the world, because like food is taken care of, entertainment is plentiful, like knowledge is plentiful, like especially with advances in AI and robotics. Like I do wonder if we will have a post-scarcity society. But and I used to suspect in my naivety that if we had one, it would be awesome because then people could pursue their passion, they could pursue art, they can find God, they can pursue the human experience. That is not true. That is not true. If you gave everyone in a healthy economy like 10 grand a month in free spending money under universal basic income and they had no work or education obligations, they would become drug addicts, they would kill themselves, they would endanger others. It would be a fucking nightmare. They would waste it. I don't think I would, but I think a lot of people would. So like So, like, how would you, if you were pulling the levers, if you were a George Soros or a Charles or a Klaus Schwab, how would you set it up so that that wouldn't happen? And I, the answer for me is to impose responsibility onto yourself. So I want to have a family. I want to practice martial arts. I want to go to the gym. I want to write books. That's how I would like. I wouldn't fall into hedonism. I would impose responsibility on myself, and I would pursue art and such. But like, I'm me. I don't trust the majority of people to do that. So I don't know. It's all pretty fucked. Why should I even fall into art? Maybe it's because we're all like consumers. Like we all watch Netflix and collect Funko Pops. I don't know. I I think art is the gateway of the human experience. Engineering or teaching makes sense. For me, it's art, but maybe I'm just stupid too. Building something is creating art, but whatever. Anyways, so we'll see if Bankman Fried goes to prison or not. Um, I'm happy with Elon Musk. I'm not happy with Trump. I think that's it. Apparently, Russia retreated out of southern Ukraine. They fell back to Crimea, I think. So I guess the war is going pretty bad for them now. I guess. I'll admit I'm not really up. A non-binary guy shut up a gay nightclub and everyone was really quick to like, oh, stupid conservatives, look how conservatives are fostering like this anti-lgbtqp plus violence. But then it came out it was a non-binary guy, so CNN brought a transgendered male to female, and I will be civil. She said, well, you know, he's He is clearly not non-binary because if you look at him, he's clearly male, and it's like, motherfucker, you don't want to play that game. but um, but I don't know. I mean, they want to have the cake and eat it too. I don't think the shooter was a crazy conservative. I think he was just a crazy person in general. I want to make a giant Gauss cannon mounted on hydrogen balloon to shoot people into space. Huh. Okay. That's enough real life stuff. Thank you guys for listening. You guys was whatever. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate that you guys will put up with my insanity. Okay. I got a PlayStation 5 last year, and I finally busted it out today to play Lost Judgment. And so, after I eat, I'm gonna eat some burgers, and then I'm gonna play Lost Judgment for the first time. Why run for president? I think at some point I do want to run for office, and I will do it in a crawl, walk, run way. I will run for something local, then I'll run for the state assembly, then I will eventually run for governor, and then we'll go from there. Governor is, I think, as high as I ever want to go. Like 40 years from now, maybe you will have Governor Thalmor of Kentucky. Maybe. We will see. We'll see. Force Alex to make Politics and War better. I don't think. Well, Politics and War is based out of, I guess, Montana. So, as governor of Kentucky, I would have no jurisdiction to do anything about it, I'm afraid. But yeah, perhaps someday Governor Thalmor will be a thing. But it will be like none of you will be thinking about me when it happens, though. This will be very far into the future. I think I have to be 34 to run for governor, and I'm only 24, almost 25 now. Actually, I guess in 9 years I can. Well, I'll tell you what. January will make 8 years I played Politics and War, and I think I could run for governor in 9 years. So who knows? Maybe I will announce that I'm running for governor of Kentucky live on Thalmor Radio. Who knows? Because I still plan on playing this game, and I still plan on doing the show. So we'll see. I mean, because December will make 3 years of Thalmor Radio. So, I've been in this shit for a while. All right, so there you go. That's it. Why do you guys want me to run for president? Do you guys actually think that I know enough that you would trust me with the job? Is that really how you guys feel? Because if so, that warms my heart. It really does. I don't know if I could be president because governor of Kentucky is easy, but president I don't think would be easy because I think with the presidency I don't know. I think there's too much power all over the place that limits what the presidency can really do. And I think the president is probably railroaded into a lot of stuff. I don't think the idea of being president is probably much better than the reality of it. Okay, well, thank you guys. I'll vote for you and get involved in policy and let podcasts influence your decisions. That is a mature and respectable take. All right. 10:16 p.m. I'm ready to eat my burgers and play Lost Judgment. Can we do the theme? I don't think we can. You know what?
I can try it.
Theme. I don't think we can put.
I can try it.
Okay, try it. Zig, play the theme in the recording. Up.
What happened?
That is strange.
What happened?
The bot is server deafened, but when I click to undeafen it, it immediately redeafens it. That is strange.
Oh, sorry, I used the wrong bot.
Okay. Uh-oh. All right, I'll wait another minute here.
Thalmor Radio. Yeah, he's coming at you from the top. Oh no, no, he won't stop. Thalmor Radio. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Thalmor Radio.
Thalmor Radio.
Good night.